Tip number 9. The problem is the solution. There's a great saying, which many of you have probably heard, framed as a question. What happens when you solve the 3 major problems that are in front of you in life? And the answer is, you get 3 more. It's akin to the saying of the Zen koan, before enlightenment, you chop wood and you carry water, and after enlightenment, you chop wood and you carry water. We think that somehow we shouldn't have to chop wood and carry water. Somehow we shouldn't have to go to a job that we don't like, or somehow we shouldn't have to deal with a boss that's mean to us, or somehow we should have more money, or we should have more time, or we should have more vitality or more health. And when we say to ourselves, things should be different than they are, what we're saying is we reject reality. And anytime we reject reality, we put ourselves in a position of pain and suffering. Really, the only way to be enlightened is to take what is real now, what is your current circumstance, and to accept it. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't do anything about it, but what it means is that you don't actively seek to have a life that is devoid of problems or devoid of challenges. You simply seek to move on to the next challenge. And how you move on to the next challenge is by intelligently grounding yourself more powerfully in reality. So, for example, let's say you're dealing with an aggressive boss who you frankly can't see why he's so or she's so mean to you. And then you might start saying in your head, he's crazy. He's just crazy. I don't know what to do about it. And the moment that you tell yourself he's crazy or she's crazy, then you've stopped observing their behavior and you've stopped observing what's happened. You've stopped looking at the problem and trying to find solutions. You can just label someone crazy and then quit the job and move on. But likely what will happen if you do that is that your subconscious will just present you with another crazy person, and then you'll have to deal with the same thing all over again. So the way to deal with it, the problem, is to move into it deeper. It's already occupying your thoughts and your ideas and everything about your life. If you have a problem that is that big. And when you have a problem that's that big, you have to move into it and accept that it is your reality right now. And you have to make a move that shifts it in your own mind. So how do you do that? Basically, you need to be solution-oriented. You can watch the other video if you're interested. And to be solution-oriented, you have to keep trying new solutions. Anytime you say to yourself, there's nothing more I can do. I've done everything I can. That is never grounded in reality, because the truth is that we are infinite creative solution makers, and the only time we've exhausted all possibilities is when we've given up trying to create new solutions. So how you see the problem as a solution is you see it as an opportunity to create new solutions, to create new approaches. So if you've tried direct confrontation with your boss and that didn't work, well, then you try something new. Try pulling away. If you tried pulling away and that didn't work, then you try praising them. If you try praising them and that didn't work, then you try getting transferred to another department. If you don't get transferred to another department, then you try empathic listening. If empathic listening doesn't work, then maybe you hire an attorney. The point is not the tact that you take. The point is that you constantly seek a solution and you constantly read the feedback in as objective a manner as you can, and you continue to learn and to grow. And what that means is that every time you're faced with a problem that you quote-unquote don't want to have, you become a more powerful, a more grounded, a better person. It doesn't matter what the other person does in a conflict situation. They can do whatever they want. That's not your responsibility or in your power to do anything about. But what you can do is continue to open and grow and become a better and more effective and more happy and healthy person yourself. So along with continuing to create solutions, you also need to read your feedback. So every time you try a solution, you'll get a feedback, and that feedback will be positive or negative or neutral. And so every time you do that, you need to look into it and get as much information you can and adjust accordingly. If you're a very accommodating person, this may not seem natural to you at first. You may just want to accommodate everything and everybody, but you have to keep pushing yourself to expand. So another rule about life is you're either expanding or contracting. There's no homeostasis. The body does not have homeostasis. A tree's either growing or it's dying. That's it. That's basically it. You'll go dormant during the winter maybe, but then you cycle back up. If you're not growing in the spring when you're dormant in the winter, then you're dying. So you have to be expanding. You have to be growing, or you're dying. So the more you can have the courage to ground yourself in reality and see that this problem that faces you, this angry boss or this lack of money or your poor health, that this is your subconscious and environmental nudge to get you to move in a new direction or to face something that you haven't faced. And for many years, I resisted that. I hated that, that life is a lesson, because I was tired of learning lessons. I needed a break. And that's fine. I took a break. And that was actually healthy for me because I was so growth-oriented. But you have to, if you go dormant for a while, you have to add new growth to it, or you begin the death cycle. So that's really it. The problem is always part of your free, enlightened, and happy life. You accept the problem and deal with it in as constructive of a way as you possibly can, and commit yourself to being happy in the process, and then you will have a great life. That's it. You can't have a great life if you relate to your problems as they shouldn't be there. You have to eliminate any idea that you shouldn't have any particular type of problem, accept the problems that are in front of you, and tweak your relationship to your problems so that they become these opportunities for solution. And not just opportunities for solution, but when you see a problem, you want to see that problem as the fertile ground for the new opening and the new freedom and the new power and peace and health and vitality and wealth that is on the other side of that. You never see a problem as something bad. You see it as an opportunity to grow and to move and to expand into new things that are yet unimaginable to you.